It's a great job here as we see great action here, and again, great credit. Even though Minchfield is down, you got to give credit to Coach Furman here for basically building this team from scratch.
Tell us this young lady again. Give her proper credit.
Yeah.
Good for her. Folks, what you're seeing is history on NNPS TV right now. In all the years we've been doing sports, we've never seen this. You will not see this in football. You won't see it in basketball.
We'll say occasionally you might see a kicker.
You won't see it in
football.
baseball. You won't see it in any sport. But right now you're seeing it in this.
Right.
This is history.
Yes. I mean,
this is mano a mano.
Peninsula District, this is what we do here in Newport News, nnpstv.com. Like you said, you might see a female kicker every now and then, but you won't see her get on the ground with the guys. And this is what the sport of wrestling brings to the people, Greg. It's why it's different than any other sport out there. And like Tony was speaking to, you see not only the athletic abilities right there, but also the courage of her convictions out there on the mat.
Greg Lesko, the comedian. See Greg at the local comedy club. Greg, love these headsets, my friend. 3 years and counting, baby. Keep it up. All right, so the score is 57-18. Let's not lose focus, but you're seeing history on our airwaves tonight, folks. This is history. Caitlin Elliott at 120. And I would later say even Jackson Erb is always amazed by this as well. That this is a credit to the young girls out there that believe they can do anything. It's not going to be easy because he's physically stronger than her, but she's trying.
Well, that brings up the question, Tony, because obviously, with men and women, in general, most men are going to be stronger than a woman of, equal size. But what advantages and skills does Caitlin have that she can use maybe that a guy of comparable size wouldn't have?
Well, she's flexible, and she's smart. And I'm not saying that guys aren't smart, but she's on top of things. She's a multi-athlete, and in softball and volleyball and
wrestling too,
and obviously wrestling, and look, I coached the all-girls team for 5 years in Georgia, and I'm here to tell you, girls, you know what they don't do? They don't ask why. If you say go run 5 miles, they go run 5 miles, and they
listen better, right?
They do.
Interesting.
They want
no attitudes either, right?
No attitude. They're looking to prove something.
Right.
Interesting.
It's almost like the old saying back when we were all kids. Tony, of course, you're older than all of us, but still, be seen and not heard almost.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a good testament of that.
Well, I tell you what, she is a tough cookie.
But she's being seen tonight on TV and the Internet.
Well, I tell you, she made it through some real hard practices. I wasn't sure she was going to do it, but she did it.
It was, she's not as strong as this kid wrestling out here.
Oh, no, this kid's tough.
But her heart is just as strong.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
Well, it takes some guts to get out there. And
we've never seen this on our airwaves, ever.
Yeah, I want to say...
and you will not see this in college, though. If you do, it'll be a miracle.
It'll be a rarity.
Yeah. You won't see this in professional wrestling either. Although there's some, Ronda Rousey would like to challenge a few in the UFC. But she's been very quiet lately.
Yeah, well, and I think that goes to what we were talking about earlier with MMA, where you can't just be good at one thing. And Ronda Rousey, obviously, excellent at judo. But it's going to take, the striking. It also takes the wrestling to have a well-rounded attack, and that's what, a lot of young guys and girls are seeing. If we want to make it in an MMA, then, we've got to get the basics, and one of those basic building blocks is wrestling.
That's absolutely right.
I like the way he's respecting her as well. He's not just,
Well, it'd be easy for him to come in and be
beating her up or whatever,
Yeah, it'd be easy to be overconfident
right.
and take her for granted. But, again, when you're out there on that mat, it doesn't matter, man, woman, if you're big, tall, short, fat, skinny. If they're tough enough to make it to this point, you have to be aware and respectful of your opponent.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, tides can change in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we've seen that 57-18 currently. Coach Furman still instructing Caitlin Elliott at 120. Still at it. 2 more minutes, folks, at it. We're in Newport News, Virginia at Menchville High School. You see all the school banners up. What do you think about all this redistricting and scheduling? I mean, you cannot tell Tony White, whether it's basketball, whether it's JV, varsity, girls, boys, and I think you talk about attendance, 99% of the public has no idea about any of the winter sports because football is somewhat organized because it's once a week. Right. The rest is about as random as you can get. And even the coaches don't even know sometimes. Ray and I had to figure it out. Took us an hour to look at. Was actually Warwick and Denby in basketball one of the few Newport News matchups. You've seen it firsthand.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's confusing to the parents, too.
Well, and we try to do a good job. One of the things that Newport News did this year is they tried to put all of the wrestling matches on Wednesday, Peninsula District matches. But it's wide open as far as what's happening on the weekends.
Or basketball, whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Most people don't know whether you're home, away, playing on Warwick Boulevard. It is confusing. It was back in the day, it was varsity girls, varsity boys, maybe the JV first. Now it's not like that anymore.
That's right.
They could be playing in Chesapeake. It is. Great sportsmanship by these two.
Yeah.
A lot of the women in attendance also cheering. Denby won, but great attitude by Caitlin Elliott at 120.
And again, you're not going to win them all, but you got to give credit to Caitlin for going out there and giving her all. But turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow, and maybe next week, Menchville, we'll do the same old thing again.
Nate, you earned your check tonight, my friend. That's